For the second time in a month, Lismore has been flooded. Yesterday's flood was the third highest in 48 years. Wilson's River is now receding and businesses in the CBD are once again cleaning up. 20 evacuation orders remain in place for the Northern Rivers and the mid-north coast. Let's go live to Claire Todd-Hunter. She's live in Lismore for us. There has been some complaints about the whole evacuation process once again. Claire, why?
Well, it has been described as a bit of a bungle, Laura. There was an evacuation order issued for Lismore's CBD at around 1 p.m. on Tuesday when it looked like the river was going to rise above the levee. That flood warning was downgraded just a few hours later and the evacuation order was repealed. However, things did change very dramatically overnight, as we know, and the evacuation orders were issued again in the early hours of yesterday morning. To be fair, though, meteorologists say it was probably quite reasonable at the time to repeal those evacuation orders, seeing as the way that things were looking. But we've spoken to some residents this morning who said it did lead to some confusion.
There has been a bit of confusion, definitely. There was an evacuation order and then they recalled it and said it was okay to go back to the CBD. And then I think an hour or so later it flooded. So it was a pretty bad call.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. People need to be grateful. Actually, I'm very grateful for the place I've been able to stay, for the extra money the government has given us. Yeah, we just have to adjust to it.
State MP Janelle Saffin has been quite vocal about these issues as well, especially after the sirens didn't sound due to a malfunction when the levee was breached yesterday morning. She's called for a specific flood response team to be established.
What we need is a professional, standing combat agency, state emergency services, with the resourcing, with the training, with the equipment, and we need better weather warnings. We've gone through this before. There was a big review, the Owens review, recommended that it change, and nothing's changed, and it must change this time.
Now, the water levels are slowly going down after the Wilson's River here at Lismore reached its peak of 11.4 metres at around 5 p.m. yesterday, a bit lower than the 12 metres the Bureau anticipated. It's now fallen below 11 metres. The latest gauge reading just over an hour ago had it at 10.78, and those waters are expected to stay above the height of the levee for much of this morning before major flooding eases this afternoon. We do still have a woman missing in floodwaters just south of Lismore as well, and police have released further information about that overnight, putting out some pictures as part of their appeal. Her name is 55-year-old Anita Brakell. She was reported as being trapped in her car in floodwaters just south of Lismore on Tuesday night, but there hasn't been any sign of her or her car since. That registration is YHS 51F.
OK, Claire, we'll check in soon.